Steve Darrow is back, and he would like to know, can we get a state of the site address? You've obviously been working very hard on new content and pushing that out through new channels. How has that affected membership numbers? How many members do you currently have? What are the targets going forward? What are the analytics guys telling you about the new efforts? Who works for you, and what are their duties? And probably also, how long is it? To which I would reply, it's all rather personal questions, sir. Steve, I will tell you this. Some of this information I'm not going to release simply because we have competitors and it's really nobody else's business, to be honest with you. But I'll go through it and answer as much of it as I possibly can. I have been working very hard on new content and pushing it out through new channels. We've made an arrangement with the Daily Wire people who have spent literally millions of dollars in 2 years working social media and have become very, very, very good at it. And so in exchange for these articles that I've been writing for them, they're going to be pushing our work out to places, hopefully, where it hasn't been before. So we're hoping to see a whole new group of people in the wider net that we throw. In terms of how it's affected membership numbers, since I've been doing Bill Whittle Live and putting that little membership commercial in the middle of it, there has been a not spectacular but a constant and steady, modest but steady growth in the membership numbers. It's nothing to write home about yet, but if these continue this way, then we will have something to write home about. How many members do you currently have? I'm not going to answer that, but it's in the thousands. What are the targets going forward? Multiple thousands, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands. We don't have a specific target number. I tried that and just got no response at all. What are the analytics guys telling you about the new efforts? We hired a company for a month back there, and they did all of these memes, and a lot of people didn't like them, and I didn't like them either, to be honest with you. But they took us from 80,000 Facebook likes to about 105,000 in 2-3 weeks. They're doing it again with Daily Wire. They're much more personally branded. So we got a big extension of our reach. I mean, huge extension. When you look at the number of people affected by any post now, it used to be 11,000, 12,000. Now it's 44,000, 45,000, and so on. So that's good. To my delight, the right angle numbers are getting fairly serious. When we were doing them as trifecta, a good trifecta would be 3,000. A really good one would be 5,000. There's not a right angle out there that does less than 10,000 now. They're all 5-figure shows, and some of them are 25,000. I saw one that was 45,000. That's it's a decent audience, and it's nice to know it's getting out there, so that helps. As far as the analytics go, so the people we hired before did in fact push us out a lot and open up some of those pathways quite a bit. Now we have to just get that content down there, and given the fact that I was formerly editing, moving files, posting things, writing the tags, literally physically making the thumbnails in Photoshop, I was doing nothing but post-production. But now I have a good editor who's taken over right angles, and I've got a great media guy who's been helping to produce the live show, and so I haven't touched a right angle in 2 weeks, and that used to be fully 80% of my time just getting those things out the door. So that's good. But there was something here I did want to talk about a little bit. When you say who works for you and what are their duties, we're really a pretty small shop here. It's me. Carla, many of you know, is our membership director and operations manager. She basically makes sure that the members are happy and that the bills are paid and so on. We have I'm not going to mention any of the names of people who I haven't already asked about it. We have a part-time bookkeeper who's here probably a couple hours a day now, really, as we get closer to preparing taxes. We have a producer, Neil, who, as I said, he's been here for a while, just basically, signing. I'm not signing, I sign them. He's basically mailing out the DVDs, and he's been in there for months mailing out the DVDs, and the guy's fantastic. He's just incredibly bright. He's tremendous. So he's been moving the media, and he's the one who switches the live show in the morning. So that was good. We picked up another editor. He's real good. I don't have to look at these anymore. I trust him. So combination of that part-time editor, part-time media guy, has really lifted a lot of the burden off of me. Carla is the one who basically keeps the office nailed down. Again, we have a part-time bookkeeper, and that's pretty much it. I have been over, needless to say, when we worked at PJTV, I would say we had a staff of 20 at least. 20 at least. You know, we had audio guys, we had 2 or 3 guys in the booth on the cameras, we had a director, we had multiple producers. The really swing of things there for a while. We had I don't know, 6 or 7 producers who were doing an awful lot of the work for us. And I would just go on camera. When I'd finish, I'd walk off. I edited the afterburners, but those elements were put into the show as we recorded it. I could edit an afterburner in 15 minutes. And I just wanted to. They would have done it, but I just wanted to. So given the lack of help that we've got here, I'm really, really proud of what we're getting out the door. And now that we've got some people taking the drudgery off of me, which is not drudgery, by the way. One of the reasons I do it is because I like it so much, the editing and all the post-production. I'm finding that I can write 400 or 500 word commentary a day. That's exactly where the firewall should be. They're currently at about 800 or 900, but 500 word, 520, something like that would be perfect. And the 2 things I've written for Daily Wire are, I would have thought both made great firewalls, as I said earlier. So I didn't want to sound snippy, Steve. I'm happy to answer as many of these questions as I possibly can. The fact is, we had a huge wave of members come when PJTV closed, and then since then it's been really a good deal smaller. And then once we started putting that daily commercial into Bill Whittle Live, it's picked up noticeably and seems to be holding relatively consistently. So if we can keep those numbers going, it's great. I think we probably, I hate to be so cut and dried about it, we have a mailing list of about 8,000 people, and I suspect we've probably wrung most of the members out of that list. What we have to do now, I mean, we've approached them and talked to them about membership so many times, and if they're not a member now after all those reaches, then likely not going to be. So what we need to do now is get new people, new faces, get them on a mailing list, and and pitch to them and see how many people answer the call. It's a hard model, I find it, I don't anymore, but for most of the period of time that I've been on my own here, I found it really quite degrading and humiliating to be constantly asking for membership. And finally, I realized that no, this is actually the exact wrong way to think about it. This is, in fact, a battle of ideas that's going on out there, and you're good at ideas, Bill, and you do good work, and it affects a lot of people, and you need to go and ask for members so that you can affect more people. The more people we have as paying members at BillWhittle.com, the more work we can do. The more people we can hire, that means more writing I can do, more on-camera stuff, but mostly it means we can promote it more. We can get it out wider and get these things out there, and so that would be certainly the goal. And thanks so much for your interest in the company.